Hey everyone, so we got our basic project here. Ignore this cinematics folder. I just something else I'm working on for one of the other tutorials. Now that I have my character, you remember I download this Daz character. I've got like these pose animations. What if I wanted some more animations? And you're probably wondering, why can't I use all those Mixamo animations I had from last week? There's the run, the walk, and stuff. Why can't I just download an animation and have it work with this character? And the answer to that is because this character and our Mixamo characters have different skeletons, and that complicates things. That doesn't mean we can't figure this out. We just have to retarget the animations to a new skeletons. So to show the difference in the skeletons, I actually and even to do the retargeting, I want to bring the week two's character files into this project. And this is also just a good sense of how to migrate something. So this is week 3 that we were looking at. I'm gonna close this project. You can actually see I've got both projects open here. If I move back, ignore that. Week 2 from last week is right here. Week 3 is right here. I'm gonna go to week 2 and open the project. And I apologize, this is small. I have my mannequin folder here with all the skeletons and the animations and stuff. I'm going to right click on that whole folder and say migrate. And this will give me everything that it kind of pulls from that folder all the way down. I only want to work with, I need the skeletal mesh and the skeleton, and I need the animations. So, and then I guess the textures and stuff. So I'm going to get rid of the physics asset, the blueprint character, the blend space, the animation blueprint. Those are all part of like a different coding paradigm than we're exploring this week. I just want to simplify it, and I'm going to click OK. Now I have to say, where am I migrating it to? It's consistently simple, but it's a little odd. I want to go to the project week 3, and I just need to choose the content folder. Anytime you want to migrate, just choose the content folder of a project. You don't need to go inside, just select that and say select folder, and it should say completed successfully. So I can close this now, go back down to week 3 here, and open week 3. And we should be able to find our mannequin character with its animations. And you can see that there's the skeleton right here. Now, one thing you might have noticed last video, if I go down to my skeletal mesh, I have my skeletal mesh for this Daz character, but there's no SK file, there's no skeleton, in the same way that there's a skeleton right here. That's because the plugin has actually added content to our project that like dictates some of this. And the way to see it is I'm probably blocking this right now, so I'm going to move this over here. I also realize I need to rescale this because it always resets it when I open a new project, and I can do that through Window, Developer Tools, Widget Reflector. There we go. If I open my view options, for content, you can say a couple of different things. I want to show plugin content. I want to toggle that on. And once you do that, you should see a folder that says Daz2 Unreal Content. And this is where our Genesis 8 base skeleton lives. So I'm going to double click on that. And then I'm going to go over back to our mannequin and go to its skeleton. And if I compare and contrast here, you can start to see, I'll go to the skeleton tree here for each of these. Just looking at this, if you don't see this, you can go to character, bones, all hierarchy to show it. And we should see the difference in this. It has a red out like root bone. This has some IK bones that are kind of weird. And then there's like the face stuff. So right off the back, you can just see that these bones are not, the skeletons are not compatible. Also, just even idiosyncrasies like hip is lowercase in this one and hip is uppercase, like has a capital letter at the beginning. So this is why animations aren't compatible. Again, like an animation file is kind of just storing the literal location and rotation of all these bones. So if they have different names, it doesn't quite work. What we can do though is we can use a retarget manager, and this is available in the skeleton file of each of your things. I think the Genesis 8.1 has it already kind of set up. It says select rig humanoid. It should work like this. And what we're doing is there's all these kind of like basis of like root, pelvis, spine. Under it, it actually targets. It's kind of like a retargeting thing. You're basically wanting to find if this is like the basis upon which everything's kind of trying to find like a thigh, a head, a neck. Where on this current skeleton is all of that? And again, it kind of does that for us already, so we're in good shape right here. If I go to mannequin, it's got nothing. So what I need to do is say select, select rig. It should be showing me. Is there something? I say clear, auto map. I don't know. I was totally blanking on it. I kept expecting to find something right here. Say select humanoid rig up at the top. My brain just fried there for a second. Great. Now, this is kind of annoying. None of the targets are set right now. One thing you can do is click auto map. And it does a pretty good job. But we need to go back and double check it. There's actually no root bone for this one. So I'm just going to X this out and say none. And then pelvis is our hips. And then I'll double check. We need to move this back a little. Like spine is spine 1, and spine 1 is spine 2. I mean, just kind of checking. You could like go back and see like hips, spine, spine 1, spine 2. Like not the greatest naming convention, but we can see now that it's lined up here. Clavicle, left shoulder, upper arm, left arm, forearm. Nope, it didn't get hand L, so I'll go to left hand. I'll check all this again too. Right shoulder's right, right arm, lower arm is not the ring finger. That would be right forearm. And then hand, right, right hand. Neck is good, head is good. Left thigh is not the left hand pinky. Left up leg, left foot, calf, foot. So mostly good, but again, double check all this. And that's great. I'm going to go ahead and save that so I don't have to do this again. We can just save it with the mannequin as bone mapping. Cool. That'll set that. So what we need to do is double check that the preview mesh for this SKM mannequin is applied to asset. I'm going to go over the Genesis 8 skeleton here and do the same thing. And that looks like it's already set. You might have to do that on your own. I'm going to go back to view everything. Let's go to our animations here. This is the original animations we have from Mixamo. I can right click all these and say retarget animation assets, duplicate animation assets and retarget. And on the left we have the source, and on the right we have the target, and I can select this. Now, one thing that's an issue right here is our target is an A pose and our source is a T pose. It's going to be very literal about this. This isn't like a perfect situation of like it's going to, you know, infer this all on its own. It's going to take the pose of the source and assume that the pose of the target is the exact same. So this actually, I could hit retarget, but it's not going to work very well. If you want to experiment, you're welcome to. So I'm actually going to cancel that and come back to this. And I need to change its pose. And you can see that there's a modify pose button. Reset would just bring it back to this. So what I actually want to do is just grab these bones. I can kind of select there, get the left arm, and I'm going to rotate it to mimic that A pose. I'll go back and forth, and that looks much better. I guess you could even if I want to get rid of this rotation, it looks like the legs maybe. Oh, Command Z, that's the right up leg. Maybe open it up a tiny bit. You can get kind of in there as much as you want. It looks like the fingers maybe don't map as well. But once I come back to here, I'm going to go to Modify Pose, Use Current Pose. So I'm resetting this as like the source pose now. So now I can come back here and say, right-click, Retarget Animation Assets, choose. And now it's much closer. I don't know why it cuts it off at the head there. I can't really zoom here. I'm going to say Retarget. It says assets duplicated and retarget. Weirdly enough, it drops them all in our content folder up at the top, so I can select all of them and move them to our Jazz to Unreal animation. And I couldn't get this working. I think what's going on is, if you see how it's rotated 90 degrees, I think because there was no root bone in our original file, it offsets it at a weird 90-degree angle. That's fine. Well, like I said, this isn't the greatest. I don't use this tool all the time, but it's something just worth knowing about it. If I come here and I say use animation asset, and now we have a cry, I can always just like set it by rotating. Move it up a little bit there. And again, and it looks like I mangled the hands. I did not expect it. I thought I tested this out. The most of the crying animation's working. I think I know what happened. Let's go to escape. If I go back to my mannequin, there's a show advanced toggle here. And one thing we didn't map is the all the finger bones and stuff. And I am going to go just clear all these. I'm not going to do that. If you wanted the finger animations and hand animations to go perfect, you would just have to go through here and do the same kind of mapping. It looks like the auto map just got this really bad. XXX. So tedious. I think I could hit the clear button, but I'm afraid it's going to clear everything in the base one as well. I'll say save. Come back here. I'm going to delete those animations. And then I'm going to come back to the animations here, right click, retarget, Genesis 8 skeleton, content, move it to my animation folder, and let's see, let's bring up that cry one again. There we go. Like I said, it's a little bit like a paddle hands kind of thing, because I didn't add but like now it's like not adding the wrong translations. So now we have these animations as well available to us as we explore the sequencer thing. Again, like we'll have to do an annoying thing where we have to rotate it, but I just wanted you to be aware of this is how you can retarget animations from one skeleton to another. So have fun with that.